Hi, my name is Wolff. I work for the ACT Alliance Secretariat as Program Manager on Migration and Displacement. We are in Marrakech, in Morocco this week to witness the adoption of the Global Compact for safe, orderly and regular migration, which has been in the making for the last 2 years. Starting with the New York Declaration in 2016, in which member states committed themselves to do a better job of protecting the human rights of people on the move. It's actually quite an improbable goal that we're trying to reach this week, because the atmosphere globally around migration has become quite hostile over the last 2 years. So we are all quite relieved that we're here this week and we can witness this event. There are many things about migration and about displacement that we're hoping the compact can address. There's another compact being signed at the end of this year dealing with the situation of refugees, which will accompany this one. And together we hope that they will make it easier for states to live up to their responsibilities to give protection to people on the move. For us as ACT Alliance, this is a very important topic, and actually the way in which protection is written into the Migration Compact in particular reflects the approach that our members take when they're dealing with situations of migration and displacement in their daily work, meaning that a lot of times it's very difficult for them to distinguish between people that are on the move because they are trying to escape natural disasters, violence and conflict, whether they are escaping desperate economic conditions and trying to search for a better life for themselves. At the same time, while they're moving, they experience rights violations that are the same whether they are given status as a refugee or not, or whether they receive other types of protection. And what this compact really tries to achieve is to give states a guide to how they can perform better in living up to their existing legal obligations. And it's really a very proactive and a very progressive compendium of activities that states should take to improve their performance, working together with civil society and other actors in several key areas. A couple of the main issues that we're hoping the Global Compact will help to address is one, the situation of irregular migrants without documentation, who a lot of times don't have recourse to legal help. They are subject to detention and deportation, often through no fault of their own, and there are several very specific actions that the Compact recommends states take, which are already being implemented in a lot of countries, and we hope the Compact will make it easier for other countries to share good practice on this and to improve the way they protect the human rights of migrants. We're also quite pleased that the Global Compact on Migration took a bold step to address the drivers of distress migration, including the effects of climate change and environmental degradation, which is something that we know is an important issue for our members. We've been working on climate justice for a long time, yet this aspect of climate change, of the effects of climate change, has so far not been comprehensively addressed in other policy arenas. So we hope that the kind of recommendations that the Global Compact gives can make it easier for states to share good practice and to improve the situation of people that are forced to flee their homes because of the effects of climate change. We also hope that in concert with other efforts through the Paris Agreement, through the Sendai framework, these will start to reinforce each other, and they will also create room for civil society and other actors to come in and support these measures. Another important aspect for us has been throughout the participation of migrants and refugees themselves, and of civil society organizations and faith-based organizations, including our members. That is something that we lobbied hard for in the negotiations, and there are specific paragraphs in the compact that call upon states to include civil society when they are going about the work of implementation. The next important step after the adoption of the compact will be for states to start implementing it at national level. And that's where we're counting a lot on the strength of our network and our membership to go and talk to their governments, to have all the information they need, and to make concrete proposals for how they can help states to realize their obligations in protecting the rights of migrants. The Global Compact also took a big step in acknowledging the specific gender dimensions of migration, which is something that we've been trying to push for a long time in other fora, and there are specific references being made to the rights of women migrants and the need for states to protect these rights in the way they deal with women on the move. So that's something that we're quite pleased about, and that we think we can usefully link to the activities of our members on gender equality in other areas. Corresponding to ACT Alliance's advocacy around the need to protect the rights of people on the move, regardless of their specific status, we're quite pleased that in the Compact there is a very broad view of what protection means, and of the need for states to provide that protection to people while they're moving and while they're in country. And we hope that we can work with states to develop specific procedures on this. Our members have already started engaging with several states at national level. There are national platforms that work on migrants' rights, that work on gender equality, that work on access to essential services, for example, and we think that our forums will be particularly well placed to participate in these discussions and to use the access and the knowledge and the leverage they have with their governments to also advocate for better migrants' rights protection.